Hi chess lovers, welcome back. Today we want to see the match played by Mr. MC Connell against Mr. Paul Morphy. Mr. MC Connell start with e4 and Mr. Paul Morphy continued to e5 and knight to f3 threatening the pawn and knight to c6 defending the pawn in e5 and bishop to c4. The chess opening the Italian game. And the best move until now to fight the Italian game is bishop to c5 and continue to b4 threatening the bishop, and bishop in c1 will be easy to move to a3 to dominate the fx square, and king will not easy to make a king short castle. And this move also called the Evans Gambit. If we don't accept this Evans Gambit, let's say that we move bishop back to b6, then will be continue to c3 to defending that pawn, and they will have a strong pawn in b4 to dominate the a5 square. So knight will not easy to move to a5 to attack the c4 and b3 square. But Mr. Paul Morphy not move bishop to b6, but he accept the Evans Gambit, and the best move actually to accept the Evans Gambit with move bishop take pawn and continue to c3 threatening the bishop, and also to give the queen can move to b3 in next further to make a double attack to f7 square, and knight if have a right time can move to g5 to make a triple attack to f7 square. And a lot of players in 18th century will move bishop to c5 and will continue to d4. So here we have no choice to move pawn take pawn, and pawn in e4 will be easy to move to e5 to dominate the f6 square. Or maybe we decline the Evans Gambit with move bishop to b6. Then knight will take pawn in e5 in this position. Of course, white have a strong position. But Mr. Morphy not move bishop to c5, but he moved bishop to e5. And this move also called the Evans Gambit with a slow variation. And of course, pawn in d2 will not move to d4 because bishop in a5 will have a strong position there because will open position with king. So it will not a good idea to move pawn to d4. So he didn't move to there, but he moved king to short castle. And Mr. Morphy make a best move with knight move to f6. So he will be easy to make a short castle in the next move. And knight will be safe there because pawn in e4 cannot move to e5 to threatening the knight in f6. And at last he moved to d4 threatening the pawn. And a lot of players in 18th century will accept this bait with move pawn take pawn. And in my opinion, it was not a good idea to move pawn take pawn, because in next furthers they can move pawn to e5, threatening the knight in f6 square. So it was not good idea to accept this gambit. And of course, Mr. Morphy also not accept this gambit, he moved king to make short castle, to make king more safe after short castle. And now we have a danger pawn in e5, because no much piece to defending this pawn. And of course, they move pawn take pawn. It's a free pawn in e5. And also threatening the knight. But we can reply it with move knight take pawn in e4. So we have exchange now here. And they make a best move with bishop to a3, threatening the rook in f8. And actually, if he can move bishop in early move to prevent the king to make a short castle, that will be a beautiful move. Bishop move to a3. And now we close the attack with continue to d6. And after this, we can move bishop to d5, threatening the knight. And in my opinion, the best move here may be queen move to c2, to defending pawn in c3, and also threatening the knight in e4. But they don't move to there, but he moved pawn take pawn. And now knight have time to go back with move knight take pawn in d6, and also threatening the bishop in c4. So he have to move with bishop go back to b3. And now bishop move to g4, threatening the knight. So queen in d1, not so really free to move to anywhere square. And we continue to h3, threatening the bishop. And bishop go back to h5. And after this, actually, we can move bishop to d5, to defending the knight. So queen will be easy to move, maybe to c2 or maybe move to b3. But he didn't move to there. But he moved queen move to d5, threatening the bishop in h5. So bishop have to save it first with move to g6. And now knight freely to move to a5, threatening the knight and bishop in g6, and also make a triple attack to f7 square. So we have to destroy it immediately, and the best move only knight take knight in e5. And now queen can choose to take bishop or knight. But in my opinion, it's better queen take knight in e5, because danger in next further, if he have a right time, will move to f6 to make a check for the king. And also bishop in a5, it's already not have a strong position anymore, after king already short castle. So in this position, knight have a strong position than bishop in a5. But in this match, he didn't take knight in e5, but he moved queen take bishop in a5. And now queen moved to g5, to defending that knight, and also threatening the pawn in g2. And in next move, knight can move to f3 to make a check for the king. And we will move queen take queen in a5. And actually, we can close this attack with move bishop to d5. And knight cannot move to f3 to make a check for the king. But in this match, bishop not move to d5, but he would rather choose to make king move to h1. And the best move again here with bishop move to e4 and double threatening to pawn in g2. So have to back up the pawn in g2. And no one piece can defending pawn in g2. Even queen cannot move to d5. And all bishop and knight cannot defending pawn in g2. So the only way is pawn to f3. And bishop move to f3. He sacrificed bishop in this move. And actually, if rook take bishop in f3, and queen cannot move to c1 to make a check. The only best move is knight take rook in f3. And after that, queen take queen. And knight take queen. And in this position, white will win one piece of bishop in this position. But unfortunately, that he didn't move rook take bishop. But he moved pawn take bishop. A question move actually. Better rook take bishop. And now queen move to g3, threatening pawn in h3. And we can move bishop take knight here. The reason we take knight here to violate the attack to the king. Because this knight will have a strong position if moved to f5. But in this match, bishop not take knight. But he move knight to d2 to defending pawn in f3. And at last, knight move to f5 to prepare make a check to g3. And rook move to e1. And queen take pawn check. And no one piece can close the attack. So the only way is king move to g1. And rook move to e8 to defending knight in e5. And also rook cannot take knight. If rook take knight, then queen will move to g3 check. And king move to h1. And rook will take rook, threatening the queen. So he will not take rook, take knight in e5. But actually he moved rook to f2 to prepare to close the attack with move to g2. And now queen move to g3, check. And rook cannot move to g2. If rook move to g2, queen will take rook in e1 and check. So he didn't move rook to g2. He moved king move to f1. And Mr. Morphy make a beautiful move here with knight to d3 and double attack to rook in f2. If he didn't defending the rook in f2, then will be checkmate in one move ahead. And no one piece can defending the rook in f2. So he only make a long move. He move rook take rook in e8. And rook take rook again. And bishop take pawn in f7, check. And we cannot move king take bishop, because queen will take knight in f5, check. So Mr. Morphy not move king take bishop, but he moved king to h8. And in this position, Mr. MC Connell got resigned from this match because he cannot defending the rook in f2 anymore. And Mr. Morphy win this game with 25 moves. But how if we continue this game? Okay, we will continue this game. Let's say knight to e4 to defending rook in f2. Then rook will take knight, and let's say rook move to e2. Then knight will move to e3, check. And here king cannot move to anywhere. The only way is rook take knight, and queen will move to f2. Checkmate in 28 move. And thank you very much for watching this video, and please subscribe and like, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.